like it?
Yeah, I'm going to be 4.
Mm-hmm.
Just 4. Let me count.
Huh?
1, 2, 3, 4. Jeez.
Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. Today we're going to be working on this cake topper that I made for my godson Matthias. It was his 4th birthday and we had a Monster Jam theme. Matthias is vegan and so his mom made this cake just for him. And so if you guys want to know how I made this, please keep watching and let's get started. So here I'm on the Pinterest page and now we're going to work on the cake topper. And this is what we decided we were going to do. And so from my previous video, I showed you guys how I got all the images from Google. I just typed in Monster Truck clip art, and there's a bunch of images that you can find. And so once you have all the images that you want to use downloaded to your computer, all you have to do is go into Cricut Design Space and just upload them. So I uploaded all of these right here. And right here is the t-shirt design I did for him. So if you guys want to know how I made that, go check out that other video. But I'll just be working on something similar to this for the cake topper. So I'm just going to go ahead and copy my design real quick. And now I'll be selecting a new canvas. Here I'm going to paste. And I'm just pasting this right here for a reference to kind of see. But I'll also be uploading a few more images. I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to use, but I like to have all the images available for me so I can just pick and choose what I want to use. This one right here was uploaded together, so I have to go in with shapes and then just slice them out. And so now I have everything cut out. And this image right here, I'm just going to unflatten it. And I already have the truck, so I don't need this one. I do want to use the number 4, of course. I also want to keep the barbed wire, the fire, and the name. This name here is also flattened, so I'm going to unflatten it. And if you want to know how I did this, all I did was enter some text, which was his name. The font is Cooper Black, and I changed it to black color. And then from there, I added a bunch of just offsets to create kind of like a gradients of fire. And so in the offset, I put 0, 1 and apply and change that to yellow. From there, I did another offset, apply, and changed it to a darker yellow. And so you can see here what I'm doing is just adding more and more offsets to create that gradients. Like that. So this one, I'm just going to unflatten it because the key to a good cake topper is dimensions. So if we have 4 layers, that's going to create a lot of dimensions. So I'll only be attaching 2 pieces here. So I'm going to start off with just the name and the yellow color. So I'll be hiding everything else. And actually, I'll add the other color so it doesn't cut too much. So these 3 layers, and then I'll flatten. So then this will cut together. And now I'm going to hide this real quick. And here we have the other 2 layers that were in the back. And these I'll flatten also. And so now here, if we click it, we only have 2 layers. And that's what I wanted. So I'll just be grouping this so it doesn't keep moving around too much. But we have 2 layers in this name. And so I think the focal point of my cake topper is going to be the barbed wire. So I'm just going to be making it a little bit bigger like this. And so I want the trophy on the top here. Maybe the number 4 there. But for now, I'm just going to be designing how I want. I'm not going to worry about layering too much yet, but I do have the name layered, and we'll see what else we do. Okay, and I think this is going to be the finished product. I ended up removing the 2 monster trucks on the top. It just kind of seemed like too much. But of course, you guys can do whatever you want. And so I'm just going to delete this part. And from here, this is where I'm going to add a little bit more dimension. I want to leave the top just like that. For the number 4, I'm going to do an offset. And I think I'm just going to leave it black because I want to add some dimension, but I don't want to add too much color since it's already really colorful. I think the black just makes it look a lot better. And so I'm going to group it and then just put it back. The name, remember, it was already in 2 layers, so I'm just going to leave that. And I want to create the whole background as well, so I'm going to remove the name for now because I don't want the background for that. And I'm going to select everything here, go into offset, and apply. And I want that one to be white. And then do another offset and apply. And I think I want it to be black because I think that looks really cool like that. So I'm just going to click away, and we're not going to flatten or do anything else because we want that dimension. So when you cut it, you're going to see that all of these are going to be separated. Okay, and now I'm going to move the name again. And so now we have something like this. Okay, so here are going to be my print and cut images, which are the flags, the trophies, the number 4, the trucks, the fires, the mountain, and the names. Everything else here, I feel that I can just cut with cardstock, so I don't have to do a print and cut. So I'm just going to select it and make sure that the operation is in basic cuts. And so that offset result for the number 4, also make sure that it's in a basic cut. And we're going to do black. Okay, so once again, all of this right here is going to be in cardstock. So just black and white cardstock so you don't have to waste ink. And everything else here, including the name, which remember was in 2 pieces, is going to be a print and cut. Okay, so I put everything back together, but make sure that everything that you wanted to cut with cardstock is in basic cut, and then everything that you're going to do with the print and cut is in print and cut. I know it gets confusing, but you'll see what I mean once everything is cut. So now we're going to decide how big you want your project. Right now, it's about 13 by 12, and that's very large. I usually do them about 5 to 6 inches, and I think this one's going to be a little bit on the bigger side, so let's do 5.5. And so right now, everything measures 5.5 by 5.1. And now I'm going to go over to make it. So here we can see all the stuff that we're going to print and cut. So we're going to use a printer to print it out and then our Cricut to cut it. It's just going to be 1 page. Here is where I'm going to cut my cardstock. I'm going to use white for this page and then black for everything else here. I am not going to use the bleed, but I will use System Dialogues so I can get the best image. In preferences, I always go to best quality, and since I'm using cardstock, I'm just going to leave it in plain paper. And so this is what it looks like. And you can see the colors look really cool. And so now I'm just going to put it on my mat. And I'm taping it because I want it not to move because it's not that sticky. And I haven't washed my mats. So I'm just going to use tape just for a peace of mind. Here on my computer, I'm going to select heavy cardstock. And now I'm going to make sure that the image on the mat is exactly how it looks here. And now we load it up. And since it needs to scan, I turn off all the lights. And so now that it's done detecting, it's going to cut. And so here we have all our cut images. Next, for the white paper, I'm just going to be loading my mat up with white cardstock. Head over to your Cricut. And you kind of just have to clean it up a bit, but here is the white layer. For the white layer, this is how it looks, but always make the most of your pages. You don't want to waste too much, so I think I can fit this one inside of this. So I can cut it like that. Okay, this looks good. And the fork can go in there. So now instead of taking all that space that was up there, now it's just going to take up 10 by about 5 and a bit. Here I have my black cardstock on my mat. Just gonna load our mat. So here I have cut everything out for my cake topper. And so the easiest thing is just to start with our base, which is this piece right here. And then we have our white piece right on top here. And this is where my first layer is going to be, so I'm going to flip this. And then foamy tape is your best friend. I get this from the dollar store. It has different sizes, so large, medium, and very thin. And so I'm just going to be placing a few strips all around my first layer. And here is my first layer that's going to go right on top of this. Next, I'm just going to add the mountain, which is the background right here. And like you see, I'm just going to keep going, adding more layers. Sometimes I use foamy tape, sometimes I just glue it on. It kind of depends. Since this was in the background, I just glued it, but things that I want to pop out more, that's where I put foamy tape. So I'm just going to keep going and let you guys watch. And like always, the last step is just to put a little skewer on the bottom so you can stick it into the cake, and we are done. And so if you guys like this video, please remember to like, comment, subscribe, and share. And please also head over to my Instagram and my TikTok for a lot more pictures and videos of my work. And thank you so much for watching.